Sekou Ali, ladies and gentlemen, get it for Sekou.
What's up, everybody? All right, did y'all enjoy your pandemic? Yeah? Yeah, I had a great pandemic. I got to spend a lot of extra time with my daughter. She's 7 years old. Her name is Sade. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, in the pandemic, though, it turned her into a germaphobe. Yeah, so whenever out in public, she will not touch her doorknob. She will not touch her table. She will not touch anything. She's like, ooh, that's icky. It got COVID. But I don't mind. I want her to keep that same energy when she goes to high school. First guy that pulls his dick out, ooh, that's icky, it got COVID. Now the crazy thing is, a couple of weeks ago, I was telling that joke, and a woman came up to me after the show, and she says, you know, that joke's a little bit sexist, because you wouldn't feel that way if you had a son. And I'm like, nah, I would. I don't want my daughter taking dicks. I don't want my son taking dicks. I'm very consistent. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not a homophobe. I'm just saying my son would be fucking your son. That's all. I'm not raising no bottom. As a matter of fact, my daughter would be pegging your son. Prom night not gonna go the way he expects. Now, another thing about the pandemic with me and my daughter, we started watching a lot of movies together, and she fell in love with Titanic. And we've all seen Titanic. And there's that scene when Jack and Rose are on the deck of the ship, and Jack is showing Rose his artwork. And Rose realizes that one of the models is a one-legged prostitute. Now, watching this with my daughter, without fail, she goes, Daddy, what's a prostitute? Now, I'm not going to tell her the truth, so I say, baby, it's right there in the scene. A prostitute's an amputee, someone missing a limb. She still believes this to this day. I can't wait to take her to the Veterans Day parade. I'm going to have her right on my shoulders. Daddy, look at all the prostitutes. I thank all you prostitutes for your service. Now, one thing that may surprise you is I've been a member of the New York City Police Department for over 20 years. Yes, thank you very much. And I spent most of that time in narcotics, so I could definitely say this is a marijuana crowd with a sprinkle of cocaine. Now, one thing about being in narcotics, you experience things that most people don't experience, like the first time I bought crack. First time I bought crack, it felt good. I was like, yeah, I got this bad guy off the street, I put him in jail. Then it was followed by a second emotion. Like, damn, I look like the type of dude that buys crack. He didn't even ask me no questions. He was certain I smoked crack. And you know, when you're in narcotics, you know, what made me want to go there is, you know, I started watching movies when I was a kid and TV, stuff like Miami Vice, you know, New Jack City, American Gangster. So that was the type of detective I wanted to be. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that. So did my first search warrant. It was great. We kicked down the door, drugs, guns, and money right on the table. But there was something missing. There was something missing. So I get the dealer. I put him right in the chair. I'm like, where they at? He like, where who at? I'm like, where they at? I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I'm like, where them bitches with their titties out? Every movie you see about drug dealing, whenever the cops raid the place, there's a bunch of women packaging drugs with their titties out. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've yet to see any titties. Let me tell you something. Some of you young people in the audience right now, if you're thinking about joining the police academy, let me let you know. Don't do it for the titties. Because I promise you, the titties you do see, you don't want to see. Now, one thing, thinking about going back to Titanic, one thing about that is, you know, could you imagine what would happen if a cruise ship hit an iceberg in 2021? Just imagine that if a cruise ship hit an iceberg. It's 3 a.m. The ship strikes an iceberg. Panic is throughout the ship. The captain gets on the microphone and announces, "Come to the lifeboats, women and children first." And then as the passengers start assembling on the deck, one passenger from the back yells, "Trans women are women too." Now there's a big ass argument. Nobody gets on a lifeboat. Everybody drowns. Thank you so much, people. My name is Sekou Ali. Have yourselves a great night.